All right, man. I'm here with the talented, amazing voice, Noel Gourdin. My man got some new music coming. My man dropped a new single. You got a lot going on, brother. How's it going, man?
Man, just trying to stay busy, man. Feeling blessed and feeling good to be creating again and just staying in the studio, writing and being creative on social media and staying active on there. It's been a while since I've done that. So it's just good to be back up and running again and feeling poised and inspired.
When you say you feel inspired, what is part of that? What is part of what inspired you to start writing again, creating again, and doing all the things that come along with dropping new music?
Well, it was after losing my pops and going into a bit of a rut and a dark place in 2020. This was pretty much getting back to this was the first pieces of music that I've started creating after that and going through that lull. So what it was just, which is hence the title of the new project, Back to Basics, is just getting back to the basics of what I love to do. And remembering the inspiration that I got from my pops and all the music he used to play when we hung together and took trips and, the family trips and the convoys heading down the highway from Boston to Mississippi and Alabama and all of that to hang out with family and gatherings and reunions and such. So it was just getting back to that and just realizing what music has meant to me growing up. And what it means to me now, and trying to create music that people can identify with and can be listened to now and can be listened to 50 years from now, just as it was just created the day before. So that's really my intention and what I'm setting out to do, and just making music that people can hold on to and use in times of need and desperation and such. So. Yeah, that's pretty much the goal, man, and what's been inspiring me.
And it seems like you're doing a little bit of gender bending, not gender bending, genre bending. With obviously you have a very soulful voice. You've tapped into the soul side. You've tapped into the R&B side. I even see you dipping your toe in the Southern soul realm a little bit. Is that a tricky thing for you, because Southern soul has a different sound than regular soul and R&B? Is that a tricky thing, or have you been able to navigate it quite easily?
It's crazy, man. A lot of people come up to me and they're like, "Yo, you made the River back in the day in 2008," and that was like almost one of the original new age Southern soul records.
Facts.
So, but I grew up on listening to Southern soul music. Like I said, my family's from Mississippi and reside in Alabama and a lot in the South. So, rolling down to Mississippi and Alabama, once you hit Highway 65 and Highway 59, that's what you're listening to, when you're listening to the radio. So, you got all those records, the Betty Wrights and the Bobby Blue Blands and all of that kind of stuff, the TK Souls and all of that music. So I grew up on that music. So, and it does have a different sound, but me growing up and being acquainted with that music since I was little, it's really not too much of a stretch for me. So it's really just based on a feeling and getting into a rhythm and having a certain feel to it. And so it's, that's the thing. And when you was talking about genre bending, I love all kinds. I grew up with all kinds of different music. Not necessarily listening to all of it with my pops, because that was mostly folk music. He liked, a lot of folk music and James Taylor and Van Morrison and stuff like that, but mostly soul music and disco and all of that kind of stuff with him. But I grew up on New Jack Swing and hip hop with my brother, and listening to some rock music as well. The old school rock, which got a lot of inspiration from blues and rhythm and blues and soul music. So, I just love to make all kinds of different music, because when you look at it, we can all groove and get down with any kind of music at any particular time. And that's the wonderful thing about music, because it can go across and span across genres and age groups and nationalities and color of people. It doesn't matter. When everybody gets together at a concert, it's a wonderful plethora of people and from all different walks of life. So that's a beautiful thing about music and being able to, dip your toe and dip my toe into different genres and still have that same through line. Yes. that has that. It's that same common denominator across all these records that I get to hold on to and still, remain Noel on those records,
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought up the river because this is something I've been wanting to ask, and it's an interesting question. One of my favorite movies, Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Obviously, your song yes. "The River" was on the soundtrack. I don't think you specifically made it for that movie. So, how does one go about getting a song on a soundtrack that's not specifically made for that movie?
Well, at that particular time, I was with Sony and, KP, Kwan Prather, shout out to him, and Chad Elliott, as well as, Michelle Anthony and Donnie Einer. They were able to receive a call from those folks that was putting that film together and pretty much asked for the record. At first, it was going to be something different. It was going to be a different record that was going to be on there. It was going to be Better Man from my first album from After My Time. But then it switched up and it kind of went with the Southern through line. So that's where The River seemed like it was just perfect for the film. But, to do that and sync, and you have to know the right people and be able to you make a great record. That's where I always think it starts there. It's just a great record, making a great record, and people are going to be looking out for records that can fit, because they can make records fit films nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I always believe in that, and it's crazy coming up and recording my first album After My Time. More than one producer said that. Raphael Sadiq said it, but Dallin Dre said it. Mike City said it. A great record is a great record. And a hit record is a hit record, and they're always going to be looking out for those records. So, first and foremost, just focus on making the best product possible for all you young artists out there and the artists that are making music. To be you and make the best record that you can, best music that you can, and put out the best product that, shows off what you can do, because everybody else is taking. Do you? And they'll find a way. They'll find a way to find those records for either sync or placements. So, yeah, man, it was crazy. That was one of my dreams.
Oh no, without a doubt, man. And speaking of great records, you definitely have some type of amazing chemistry going with Kevin Ross. You got his services for the new single, Might Let You Hit, for the album that's coming out, I think, later this month, Back to the Basics, Volume 1. What made that single be the one, and what made Kevin Ross be the guy you reached out to collab with?
Man, it just has a thing about it, man, that everybody can identify with. A lot of people, when we was pitching it to radio, a lot of folks was like, we can't play nothing like that on our platform. We were like, just listen to the record. It's not crass at all, It was just the title, which I think is a great reversal of roles, in a sense, because it's typically the woman that's playing the role of the fella in this record. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a really cool reversal. So yeah, I mean, and Kevin Ross, we was able to hit him up. My man Frank C.K. Oliphant, that I worked with on this record, and said solo. They was able to reach out to him, and I didn't even think of reaching out to him because they had suggested it first, because I had worked with Kevin on my second album, Fresh to Definition, on a few records, Sex and the City and some other joints, Fresh as well, so brand new. And yeah, man, we always had that. We was able to work really easily on my past project, Fresh to Definition, and we worked really well together. And it took almost no time to get it going, and we were able to communicate and to communicate with each other and get the record down and format it the way we wanted to. And I think it came out great, man. And a lot of people are really responding to it in a really positive way. And, I couldn't be happier with its success thus far.
Super dope record, man. I love that joint, man.
Appreciate it.
Definitely. What caused you, or what was the catalyst to you engaging more socially with fans and supporters? I see you doing covers, you're taking suggestions, you're doing a lot of things socially, specifically on Instagram. What was the catalyst for that?
Really, man, things change, and you kind of got to keep up with the times, in a sense, because when I started, it's gonna age me, but it was MySpace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we would post some pictures and leave a posting and all of that kind of stuff, and say something about what we took the picture on. Now it's like videos, and it's almost like sitcoms in a sense, where people be posting stuff. So I figured I had to keep up with the times a little bit. I'm still getting used to it. It's not normal, me. I was always like, I would never be able to do that or whatever. I'm a creative person, but doing that, you could be tied up for hours and hours to try to think of creating some content for that. Mm-hmm. And some people are just great at it. And I've always been looking out to getting, like you say, getting advice and taking requests and all of that kind of stuff. And just people just kind of, I want to push people to kind of let me know what they want to see me do and all that kind of stuff, because it is such a new thing for me to stay active on it. But it does help, man, and I want people to know a little bit more about me. If they can go into watching the video and learn a little bit more about me after they watch the video, then I set out to do what I set out to do. So, but yeah, man, and my management and all that, it's been some stuff like, yo, you got to get more active, and it's true. So I've been making that a point, point of emphasis to get more active on my social media and to, just stay engaged with folks. It means a lot.
No doubt. Definitely, man. Before I let you go, Noel, how complete is the album, and is the end of this month, which we're almost there, is that still the date you're looking to bless us with some new music?
It is still the date. And we're looking, roughly around the 28th, 29th, somewhere around there. And it's done. It's in the can. It's already being uploaded to be ready for the date. So when we definitely find out the specific date, I will be posting that on my social medias, and it's in the can though, man. It's ready. Back to Basics Volume 1 is a wrap. It's in the can. So it's going to be there. I'm starting to work on the next project. I have been working on the next project for a while, but looking forward to getting out there and promoting this project and getting in front of some folks.
Man, I can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to see you on the road, man, doing your thing. Before I let you go, man, let them know where they can find Noel Gourdin on social media, brother.
Yeah, you can check me out on Instagram and X at Noel Gourdin, at NoelGourdin. On Facebook, my personal page is at Noel Gourdin, but my band page is The Real Noel Gourdin with space in between every word. And TikTok is The Real Noel Gourdin as well. And you can check out my website. It's Noel Gourdin Music. So check that out.
My man, I appreciate the time, brother. Always an honor speaking to you, man. And like I said, looking forward to the album, bro.
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for having me, person.